Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. If you are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you can always know when we post a video, because we are going to try and be more active. Right, babe? Okay, so in this video I will be explaining what happened with our son. I'm going to explain the birth process and then what happened afterwards with our son. There's a lot of people have been asking, so what easier way than make a video? So let's just get right into it. So this is definitely going to be kind of a sad story, but so Braxton was born March 11th at 3:49 in the morning. He was 5 pounds, 2.6 ounces, and he was 17.5 inches long. So this is what he looked like. This is our son. He was really cute. And so I'm gonna explain why he has these tubes and IVs and everything hooked up to him. Okay, so on March 10th I lost my mucus plug, which is what you lose before you can go into labor a couple days, a week or two later. So I called the hospital and they told me to try to get him to move, but if he doesn't move for an hour, to come in. So I tried to get him to move. I drank cold stuff. I pushed on my stomach some. I walked. I ate snacks, everything. I tried to do everything I could to get him to move, and he was just not moving. And I was also having contractions, but I thought they were Braxton Hicks, which is like false contractions, but they weren't. So when we got to the hospital, they checked us in and all that. They put me on a monitor, and which you could hear his heartbeat, and it also monitored my contractions. So every time I had a contraction, his heart rate would drop. So, and that's not good. So they called my doctor and told my doctor what was going on. The doctor that would be delivering him told them what was going on and everything, and they said that she said I was gonna have to have an emergency C-section, which was scary. When I heard that, it was scary. So they started getting me ready and prepped to have an emergency C-section. They put a big needle in my back. Like, it hurt so bad. It felt like I was getting stung by bees from like mid-stomach down, all the way down to my feet until it numbed. And so then they started the C-section and all of that, and about halfway through I started feeling it, so they had to give me something that kind of made me like in and out. And so when they got Braxton out of me, he was not breathing, so they had to resuscitate him. And this is why there's these tubes right here. That is to help him breathe, because I had him at 36 weeks, which, I mean, that's still early. His lungs, when a baby is developing and all of that, their lungs are the last thing to form. So his lungs weren't all the way formed. So, and when he was born, his platelets were low, his blood pressure was low, what else? He wasn't breathing on his own. There's just a bunch of things that wasn't right. And so they had to rush him to Macon to the NIC, and so they brought him into recovery, to me and Bryce. They brought him into us, and we got to see him for a minute. I got to hold his hand. I wasn't allowed to hold him. He was in the, like, I don't know how to describe it, but he was in something. I wasn't allowed to hold him. I held his hand, and then they took him to Macon. And I wasn't allowed to go because they had to make sure I was recovering right, because, you know, I just had a major surgery. So, but Bryce would go back and forth. He would stay the night with me, but he would go back and forth, like, between me and Braxton. And, so, when I got out of the hospital, we went up and I saw Braxton. And he's just the cutest thing ever. He was so tiny. He had tiny little toes and fingers. He was just so adorable. And, so I'm trying to think. So they ran a bunch of tests on him because they were trying to figure out and get to the bottom of what was going on. So then they found out that it was CMV. That's the abbreviation for it. I don't know how to say the whole word, but It was CMV, and basically it's a 24-hour cold that I got, and only 1 and 2%. It's common for people to get CMV. It is common, but it's only 1 and 2% out of women pass it to their child. Like, it's so rare to pass it to your child. Well, I just so happened to fall into that 1 and 2%. So Braxton got CMV, and that was what was wrong. So the doctor was talking to us and told us that everything could only improve. They had him on the highest medication that they could have him on, but they said that he could only improve from now, that he believes that Braxton's going to get through this. However, Braxton had a chance of not having nothing wrong with him at all, or he could have had mental problems, mental retardation, or how do you say it?
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah, he could have had that. But me and Bryce were ready to deal with that. We just wanted our baby boy to be okay. So about 3 o'clock the next morning, we got a call saying that we needed to come down there now. It was not looking good for Braxton at all. So we start getting ready, put our shoes on and everything, and get ready to leave. And we get a call back, and they say that they got everything stable now to get a couple hours of sleep and then come up there. Well, less than an hour later from that, we got a call saying it's not good, everything's dropping, everything's bad, we need to get up there now. So we get up there, and they talk to us and basically tell us that we have to make a decision for our son. We have to make a decision if we want to keep, basically a decision. Like, he was already going, our son was already going. We tried to put him on something stronger than a ventilator for his breathing, but the only way he's getting oxygen into him, into his blood and all that, was if they were hand pumping it into him. So that's already really bad, because his blood pressure can only be uneven for so long before his other organs start failing. So our son was just really, really struggling really bad, and we didn't want him to struggle anymore. Not 1 day, not 2 days, not any longer. So we decided that we were going to take the tubes and stuff out of him. So I held him, and then, sorry for that, someone tried to call me and I'm filming on my phone. But so Bryce held him, I held him, and then Bryce held him, and then I held him again, and they took the tubes and stuff out of him. And so I basically held him until he went to heaven, basically. It was a very hard and emotional and stressful thing for us, because, and that was our baby. It is our baby. That's our son. And we just wanted what was best for him. And we didn't want to be selfish. You know, we wanted our son, but we didn't want to be selfish. We didn't want to have him suffer days and days just so we could see him, you know. And we prayed. We did pray. We prayed a bunch. I think that's the most I've ever prayed in my life. We prayed a bunch, but I guess God had a different plan for us. For Braxton and Bryce and us. I guess he just had a different plan, which is really upsetting, because it's hard for any parent to lose their child. It is really, really hard to go through something so scary like that, you know. So, but after that, we got to come in and tell Braxton. So after I held him when he passed, they came and did his last footprints and got him cleaned up and blah, 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 blah. And then I was able, Bryce didn't want to. It was too much for him. He didn't want to. It was just too much for him. So I went back up there and I held him again. He was already gone, but I had to hold my baby again, you know. And so I just held him, and I held him until I couldn't no more. And they got him ready and sent him to the funeral home that we were having his funeral at. And it was just a very hard and emotional process for us. Really hard. But we know Braxton is up there watching us and looking down on us, and helping us, guide us through this and giving us strength. So yeah, now we want to make Braxton proud. So now we'll have our GED by the end of next month. So we'll be graduated, and then Bryce is going into the military, and we're just getting out of here. We're getting out of here. We're going somewhere out of Georgia. So, and we just want to make our son proud, and then we'll go from there. But I just want to explain to y'all a little bit of what happened, because everybody was asking and requesting that. So there's that. But anyways, I pray that everyone who is pregnant has a safe, very, very safe delivery for you and the baby, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. It's so hard to go through something like this. It really is. But we tried to stay up and stay smiling, because we know that's what Braxton would want. We know he wouldn't want us depressed and stuff, which I am depressed, but I try to get through my day, and so does Bryce, and it helps that we have each other to be able to do this. But so that's the end of this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your post notifications on so you can know when we post new videos, which we will be doing. Comment below what videos you want us to do. I was thinking about doing a question and answer for the next one, but y'all comment that. If y'all want us to do a Q&A, comment that down below. And comment, you can comment down below, but I will also be making a post on Instagram asking what questions on our group Instagram, and that's The Crosby. You can follow us at The Crosbys. So be sure to do that. And everyone just have a blessed day and stay smiling. Bye.